Hello and welcome back to Gary's Garage, and in this episode we'll be running some errands in the Anglia. If you were watching last time, then thank you, and if you weren't, well, you missed an episode where I pulled apart the front of the engine and replaced the cam belt because I think I was an idiot when I've been lifting the engine in this Anglia in and out, and I damaged the pulley on the cam belt, and for good measure I replaced the water pump. We also remade the rear drive shafts because one of them was quite banana shaped. It had been snapped and re-welded, and I think the welding had not gone as brilliantly as it had before, so there was a lot of vibration through the car. And it has been raining quite a bit since then, so this is the first dry enough day for me to take the car out because there's still some unprotected paint that's just primer, and primer is porous and it absorbs water, so I do not want to be getting it too wet. But I need to go out and give it a test drive, and I've got a few errands to run for the household, out to a couple of shops to get some supplies for other projects I've got underway. So I thought, why not take the Anglia and bring you along, and we'll do a little bit of logging and tuning on the way, pull over to a couple of safe spots to have a look at the logs and just update the ECU as we go, and hopefully we'll start the road tuning process of getting the engine running nicely. So let's open this garage door and get going. Okay, so let's go. Fuel. Would be nice. Okay. That's a great start. Literally, I ran it last night, it worked. Tried it today and it doesn't. Woo freaking who. We have no cam trigger again. Yep, we have no trigger one again. And I have had that plug disconnected. I think I've got a dodgy pin on this plug. Of course, it's in a really easily accessible position. Not. Oh, for God's sake. Well, I guess we won't be going out right now because we have no crank sensor signal again. So that's similar to the fault I had before. Great. Guess I'll be shifting the cars around again, and we won't be going out today in the sun. So I have got out the multimeter and I've put a wire onto the pin on the connector, and the other end loops down through there through the multimeter and to the ECU, and we have a connection there which is all good. So let's put this down to the plug down here, this at the front of the engine, and we want that pin just there, and plug this in, and we get nothing, but we still get nothing because I've popped it off of there. Still have nothing, but if we wiggle that, so we've got some kind of dodgy joint or dodgy connector somewhere in here. So I shall strip this tape off and let's have a look at what's going on in here. Right, so after that small delay, let's get going. Okay, so it feels a bit like it might be missing. It certainly doesn't sound as smooth as it should. And the brake balance definitely has something to be said. That definitely needs tweaking. But that vibration seems to have certainly gone. The noise now is mostly just from the front, I think, from the engine. I mean, it could just be tuning. My rev counter isn't working properly. Definitely something to look at. But other than that really does sound like a misfire. Even so, it's still pulling quite well. The fueling is all over the place, but that is totally to be expected with a base map and no tuning. But once you're up to temperature, then we shall have a look and see what the fueling's doing and make use of the log on the PC, and that will definitely allow me to do some minor fueling changes. Then it will just be an iterative process to sort things out. And yeah, those brakes definitely need a little bit of firming up. They work, they slow me down, but I think maybe I've not quite got the balance right yet. But given that other than the MOT, this hasn't been driven for a long time, and I've changed a lot of the settings on the ECU, so I don't really find it too surprising that it's not driving brilliantly. This is essentially a totally new tune. Only some of the settings were carried over from before. I've got different injectors, different coils. Different fueling map. It's now referencing fuel pressure rather than directly. But even if it is missing, it's still pulling quite nicely. Certainly better than my wife's 1.4 diesel Fiesta. It's certainly louder than her Fiesta. The clutch is working nicely, so brakes still need a bit of tweaking, but clutch is working nicely now. somebody there who doesn't understand the concept of a roundabout and did not give way to the person who was coming from their right. Okay, so first drive, not bad. Said, I think it feels a bit like it's missing. I'll have to have a look at the log in a moment and see what's what. But it drove all right. Brakes definitely need a bit of tweaking. It could just be that the discs and pads, because they've sat for so long, just need bedding in properly. I think also the balance front to rear needs adjusting as well, but that's something I can tweak. That's why I've got these adjustable pedals, so I can tweak it. So I'm going to nip in to get the bits I need for my project around the house, and I will have a look at the logs and we'll go for a bit more of a drive in a moment. This could either be too much fuel or not enough fuel. I've come to edit this video up and have no idea where all the footage of me doing all the diagnostics has gone. So we're skipping straight from the drive to the post-analysis. And I have had the inlet manifold on and off about 4 or 5 times for various reasons. There was quite a strong smell of fuel at one point, and I noticed that the fuel pressure was dropping off very quickly with the key off, and there was one of the O-rings that holds the injectors into the fuel rail that was slightly pinched, and so the injector wasn't quite sitting perfectly, so that was allowing a little bit of air in and a little bit of fuel out. So that's sorted. But the main thing, I think, is that I've got 2 coil packs that just aren't working. So I think that whole drive that we did was basically it running on 4 cylinders. 2 on that bank and 2 on this bank. So the plugs are very, very sooted up. Not that you see it, but the plugs are very sooted up because of the overfueling, or the wrong fueling. And with regards to the coil packs, well, when I gave them a check with a multimeter, they've got 4 pins on them. It should be power, signal ground, signal and power ground, and between the signal and the signal ground, on 4 of them I had about 700 ohms, and on 2 of them I get a beep, which means there is just full continuity between them with no resistance whatsoever. And I bought 8 coil packs. I installed 6 of them. One of them obviously got damaged due to that dodgy crimp on the plug, and of the 7 I have left, 5 of them have connectivity with resistance, and 2 of them just have straight through connectivity with no resistance on those 2 pins. So I've not even got a matching set of 6 that I can put back in. So in order to eliminate these coil packs, I have ordered some more, and I have also ordered a full new set of plugs, and I will give them a damn good test when they all arrive, and that will have to be in the next episode. Well, it's not really been a particularly successful episode. I did manage to at least get out and drive the car. On the plus side, the vibrations from the back seems to have disappeared. There was just obviously a lack of power from the front and it running very, very rough and sounding like a horrible old 4-cylinder car. Well, it was a 4-cylinder car while it was driving. So yeah, join me next time on Garry's Garage when hopefully we'll have these new core packs and we can get it all back together and hopefully it will all work right and we can go out and do some proper driving and some proper logging and road tuning, and we'll see how it goes. So see you next time. Bye.